It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield-Greene County Park Board, Blue Current, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Hey, good morning. Happy Friday. Look who I have with me today. Yay, Diana Tyndall, Modern Day Marketing. I'm so glad that you could pinch hit for Ethan. It's an important job. And I feel like if the shoe fits, wear it. So
hey, I'm thrilled. Thank you for having me. It was way too early the other day. So sorry. Here we are. Happy Friday, folks.
Yes. Welcome to the news world, right? It's like, I think I've spent more days of my life getting up around the 3 a.m., 4 a.m. marker than
it's hard.
It's news. That's news. That's what it'll do.
Well,
speaking
if
you're
of
in
news,
college journalism classes, you need to hear me right now. There
right.
You go.
Let's get to some news, as Ethan would say.
As
right?
Ethan would say, yes. Okay, well, you will remember the man who forced his way onto the Springfield school bus back in April. It was full of children. They were all okay, by the way. Most of them made their exit out the back. Well, that man has now been declared incompetent and unable to proceed, and thus committed to the Missouri Department of Mental Health. He was charged shortly after that crime in April with hijacking, assault with intent to commit bus hijacking, and he was a sex offender in violation of being within 500 feet of a school. William Trenton Moore has now been committed to a mental health institution.
I remember when that story came out. That was so scary. Well, I'm glad he's getting the help that it sounds like he needs. Well, sadly, it's now a common and needed practice at schools across the Ozarks and across the country, talking about active shooter drills. President Biden is signing an executive order to make these drills less traumatic for students, which is good. The order also seeks to restrict new technologies that makes guns easier to fire and obtain. So good to hear gun safety, some controls, in the hands that don't need to be using them. Right?
Yeah. It's wild.
Wow.
Wild days in which we live, isn't it?
Oh, this is my story too. Sorry. I'm like pulling an Ethan, like, hold on. Whose story is it? And college enrollment at Missouri State University is looking good. MSU has set a record high for fall enrollment. The university students from every state and almost 100 countries. So they have students from every state and almost 100 countries. That is.
Isn't that cool?
That is so neat.
I know. I love it.
Good, diverse representation. And I love learning about different cultures and different things. So this is great. Just over 25,000 students are now enrolled in the Springfield campus, and the West Plains campus has about 1,800 students. System-wide, the enrollment is up 3.6%. So
very cool. Good for MSU.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 40 more days until Election Day in Missouri and beyond. Lots of elections going on. One ballot issue is minimum wage. Missouri voters will decide if it will go from $12.30 per hour up to $15 per hour in Missouri by 2026. Then, starting in 2027, if it passes, minimum wage would be adjusted each year based on inflation and cost of living. Some think it's necessary, think it sounds great. But we know that the Missouri Chamber of Commerce and industry leaders say that it could increase the cost of doing business in the state, which could drive some of them out. And then it could also drive up cost for consumers who are already dealing with inflation. Meanwhile, supporters say it is necessary due to the cost of living right now. So it's important to read up on that issue and all the many others that we will all be collectively deciding on before you head to the polls in November.
That has such a big impact. I'm going to sidestep for just a minute, because I remember when it really hit me, like, not personally, but really had trying to get my head around these big numbers, was when I was working at the parks department, and we had to increase because the minimum wage was increasing. But what that does was it impacted our employees that were making just above minimum wage. So then you have to stair step. It's almost like you have to stair step everybody else. And I think it was in the $1,000,000-ish amount just to increase where we needed to put everybody. And that's got a big impact, especially if you're a locally owned business. Again, I'm not like touting everything that we were doing was right, but just there's big dollar impacts. It's crazy.
It's big. And I remember interviewing, this was many years ago for a different minimum wage increase. But do you remember Bud and Walt's Pizza in
Yeah,
Nixa?
I do.
It's not there anymore, I don't think. Is
Oh,
it?
it's because of the minimum wage increase, isn't it? No, I'm
Well,
kidding.
no, actually,
I
though,
hope
he
not.
said that. He said,
Is
and
it?
I think it was actually years before before they were actually no longer there. But I remember him saying it will be this like X number of dollars more for me to pay my workers, which means then the customer will have to pay this number of dollars more for their food.
Right.
So yeah, if I were like back in high school debate, like I see that business argument, but then
Yeah.
also the
But
cost of
and cost of
living
living is going
is
up. Like,
insane.
I
It's
agree.
insane.
I see
So,
both sides. It's
me
really
too.
difficult. Yeah.
I do feel like, I mean, it's incumbent upon people, and we talk about it all the time, but just to read up on the issues before you get there. Because it's not
I agree.
necessarily just enough to know the ballot language, although that is step one. But if you look online, like Ballotpedia is one example, but there's several different sites that you can actually like drill down into each of the issues and read up on them and just have a much better understanding of the
That's so
overall
helpful.
picture. Yeah.
That's so helpful because I'm guilty of being that person. I fly by the seat of my pants sometimes, and I'm like, "What does this even mean?"
Yeah.
And then I
I
text my
mean,
husband.
I
I'm like,
do
"Who should I vote for?"
too sometimes,
But yeah,
but this one just seems consequential,
yeah.
this whole election.
There's a lot of important issues there. Well, speaking of inflation and all of this, you probably saw this coming with everything costing more these days. So will stamps also cost more. The United States Postal Service will raise stamp prices 5 times over the next 3 years. So I guess if you need to get stamps, you better just stock up.
Yeah, the sooner
Uh,
the better. The
yeah.
sooner the better.
The increases will happen every January and July through the end of 2027.
Yep.
I think I'm just gonna buy $1,000 in stamps.
Yeah. The
We
question
mail
is,
out Christmas cards and
how
stuff.
quickly will you use them? Oh, do you? Okay. I was about to say, then in that case, you might go through them quickly. Sometimes I do Christmas cards, but definitely not every year. I think it's based on whether I'm feeling like a whippersnapper or not. And some years I'm like, nah. I'll just tell them hello and Merry Christmas when I see them, But
Yeah.
but then other times I'm like, hey, we should do a Christmas card, and I just get like a pep in my step and get it done. I don't know.
And you're on it. Awesome.
All right. So it is a big weekend for fall festivals, right on cue. And some parts of the Ozarks will see some rain remnants from Hurricane Helene. But for a lot of us, it's not going to be a total washout. And that is great news for all of the organizers of these big fall festivals. One of the big ones this weekend is the Black Walnut Festival in Stockton. This is their 65th year, which is super cool. They're in the Black Walnut capital of the world. So you can enjoy that today and tomorrow, really all day long. Admission is free. Some of the activities do cost some money, so be prepared for that. But it's always a good time. I've been to that one a couple times, and it's fun.
That's fun. My only interaction with black walnuts is I think I had ice cream from Brahms. I think that was a black walnut ice cream or something.
That's also tasty. That's also tasty.
I mean, it was good.
Yeah. Or you can pick up some black walnuts out of your yard and go sell them and make money. You can do that. There's a lot that can be done with a black walnut, as it turns out.
That takes a lot of work, though.
That's the truth. Put the boys up to it.
I should. Absolutely. All right. Well, big congratulations are in order for OTC, now known as Ozarks Tech. The college broke ground on its new student union, which will be called the Michael L. Parson Student Union, after the governor, obviously. And it's a big space. It is 3 stories high with rooms for socializing, group studying, even exercise. So it's going to include a library, a bookstore, food court, and so much more, it sounds like. It should be open fall of 2026. So
that's cool. And that's exciting. I know Governor Parson was surprised, by the way, with the naming. So that was neat.
What
and it's funny to hear him called Michael L. Parson because
I was like, who is the governor? It's like he's in
too.
Trouble.
Like
Michael L. Parson, we're going to name this after you.
It takes me a minute whenever it's not anything but Governor Parson, So
Right.
Okay, we have the winner of our contest. So are you ready for this?
Yeah.
I
Drum
would make you do a drum roll, but it's like hard. Okay, see, that works with your mouth.
Ready.
Ethan tried to do it with his hands and the mic didn't pick it up. But
no.
Okay, so the week 5 winner for the Branson Bowl is Samantha from Mountain Grove.
Woo!
So congratulations, Samantha. I love Mountain Grove. Thank you for tuning in for Mountain Grove. And you won tickets to the Chiefs versus Saints football game happening at Arrowhead on October 7th. So Around the Ozarks will be in touch with you, Samantha, to get those tickets to you. You will also win some Branson official vacation destination of the Kansas City Chiefs custom gear. Wow. So there you go. You can wear that gear to the game. But we're so thankful that you tune in, and congratulations to you, and make sure that you continue tuning in because you can enter into next week's Branson Bowl, and we will be giving away more stuff.
Yay. Well, is Ethan going to be back Monday? Happy Friday, by the way, and I hope everybody has a good weekend.
Yeah.
Will Ethan be back by then, or?
That is the plan. He did make it to Tallahassee. So he's about an hour and 20 minutes or so inland from where the hurricane is expecting to have major impact. I mean, I shouldn't say expecting, is having major impact. And I talked to him last night and I was like, so are you sure that you're in good hands? This is what news people do. We go into, and he's not really a news person, but for Convoy, he becomes a news person because he's the spokesperson during any disaster. So it feels right at home, honestly, to be in that type of a situation. But he was like, when we got to the hotel, I saw that right down the hall from me is the Weather Channel guy. And outside was the Fox News anchor. So yeah, I think we're good. I'm like, just because other important people are at the hotel doesn't actually mean it's safe. And he was like, when's the last time that you heard of a structure an hour and a half off the coast being swept away by, I was like, there's always a first. So I'm just telling you.
I don't want to think about that.
Hold on tight and grab a life jacket, please. So
yeah. Oh my goodness, that's scary. Well, I hope he gets back in town. If he's not, I'm happy to pinch hit for you.
Okay. I'll let you know. I will let you know. But yeah, the plan is that he will be back. And I believe it. So yeah. I don't have any reason not to. But I know Convoy is doing some good work because yikes.
Yeah,
that's a big
lot.
One. That's a lot. And tornadoes are hard, and that's what we are used to. But it's so strange how a tornado, it's like this instant impact that's big, and then it's gone. And like hurricanes, it's days and days and days because it's flooding.
Well, and I've always heard water damage is the worst to try to the impact of water and wind and all of that together. I can't even imagine. So
I do remember going water rafting one time and our guide saying the water always wins. He made us say it like 100 times. And I'm like, that's just true in life.
That's good and humbling to remind yourself.
It's true. Yeah, it is humbling. Wow. You're right. That's a good adjective because it is nature.
Yeah.
You
got to respect it.
You got to respect it. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Diana, for filling in. Thank you guys for watching. And either the lovely Diana or the adventurous Ethan, one of the two, will be alongside on Monday. So we will see you then.
Bye.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Rescue Towing, Command Family Medicine, and John's Heating and Air. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. It's September 27th, and we are waking up to mainly dry skies in the Ozarks, but rain chances return today. It will also be a windy day in the Ozarks with north winds gusting to 30 miles an hour. pretty much all day long. And we've also got rain chances. So kind of dreary conditions, a good night for indoor activities as we head into your Friday afternoon and Friday evening. Rain chances really begin to ramp up. This is remnants of that tropical system making all the headlines. Hurricane Helene, causing life-threatening conditions down in our far southeastern portion of the country. Conditions just really dangerous down there. So we're thinking of everyone in the southeast and hoping that everyone stays safe and heeds all the warnings in place. Here in the Ozarks, in comparison, things are not bad, but our weather setup does call for some rain and some heavy rain at that. Now, it's just the far eastern Ozarks that will have the chance for heavy downpours as remnants of Helene move through. And this is really going to be much more of an issue for the boot heel of Missouri, all the way back through portions of the Tennessee Valley and Kentucky. That's where the heavy rain and remnants of the tropical system are going to move as they work their way inland. Doesn't mean that we're without rain chances in the Ozarks. I think everyone has a chance for rain today, but amounts will probably stay on the low end, especially for the Springfield areas along Highway 65 and western communities. You have the lower chances of rainfall. Much higher chances of rain exist in the eastern Ozarks, areas closer to some of that tropical moisture. Now, it still appears that a few inches of rain will be possible along and either side of Highway 63. South central Missouri and the southeastern Ozarks have the best chance, 2 to 4 inches of rainfall with this system moving in. There's not just rain in the forecast today either. Our eastern counties still have a chance for rain as we head into tomorrow. So there will be continued rain chances through much of the weekend. I think they're much more widespread in the area today. And I'm thinking we get about 1/4 of an inch here in the Springfield area, less out toward Joplin. Compare that with a couple inches for our southeastern counties. So I'm talking a line from Taney County back through Douglas County, Shannon County, Oregon County. Places like that are going to see much higher rainfall totals. And as a result, we're all going to have cooler temperatures. Best chances for rain on Saturday really exist just in the far eastern Ozarks. So if you have some outdoor plans on Saturday and you're listening from along Highway 65 or west of there, I think your outdoor plans are going to be okay for Saturday, especially if they are late in the day. High temperatures today, well, they're only going to manage to climb to about 70 in Springfield. Warmer than that out west, and of course, cooler than that in the mid-60s for our far eastern counties where the rain chances look a bit better. Not only do we see the rain chances increase, though, today, as I mentioned, it's going to be windy. So anyone heading to Friday night football games, it's not going to be a very pleasant night for game. Wind, rain, just soggy conditions as we head into the rest of the afternoon and into the early evening hours. We'll hold on to those shower chances for Saturday. The wind backs off a little bit and then rain exits the area. We get the sunshine to return by Sunday and temperatures look nice in the 70s and low 80s as we head into late this weekend. Of course, Helene making all the headlines, making landfall yesterday along the Gulf Coast. Life-threatening storm surge, flooding, severe weather, high winds, and we're going to be hearing about the effects of this storm as we head into the weekend as well in the national news headlines. For the northern plains, what's in effect are red flag warnings and dry, windy conditions. This could lead to high fire danger for the high plains, so that's something that is on the radar of the National Weather Service as we get closer to the weekend. Around the Ozarks, wake up weather brain twister trivia question for the day. This is the question that I left you with yesterday. In what country were potatoes first fried and served as French fries? Well, to me, I'm like, duh, France, right? No, we are incorrect on that. The correct answer, and maybe some of you knew this, is C, Belgium. I mean, my first guess was France, and then my second guess was the USA because it seems like something we would do. But no, it is Belgium, despite its name. The French fries are not French. We should start calling them the Belgian fries. The origins can be found back in Belgium. Historians claim that potatoes were being fried in Belgium in the late 1600s. So they are the first genius people to fry a potato and serve it. And I guess France took credit, but C, Belgium is the correct answer. Congrats if that was your guess. Here's your next chance to win $50 to Habaneros on South Campbell. What is a group of unicorns known as? The mythical creature. Do you think it is A herd, B, a shimmer, C, a crowd, or D, a rainbow? You can enter your guess. That's at aroundtheozarks.com. Thank you so much for listening to Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather this morning. And thank you to our sponsors, Rescue Towing, Command Family Medicine, and John's Heating and Air. I hope everybody stays safe in the Ozarks today. A bit cooler, high temperature of 70 degrees in Springfield. We've got rain. We've got wind. Don't forget your rain gear as you're heading out today. I'll catch you again on Monday morning.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply.